It's a whole new world in Let's Play Ultima 4. Okay, so the Ultima series is basically a turn-based game with mostly top-down map graphics. You have a variety of actions you can do, of which the most notable for the moment is just moving. Each one of those takes a turn. If there were any monsters on the map with me, they would each get a movement for every movement I make. It's not entirely turn-based. There is some degree of real-time behavior to it. If you actually sit still for something like 18 seconds, I believe you will automatically pass an action like that, and monsters will get a free turn on you. However, if you use the command with the Z key, which is stats, 1, that brings up the status of your character that you just created. 2, it pauses actions in the world, so you have time to go away from the keyboard or study your stats or whatever you choose to do. Now, you will notice my character here actually has stats already. We didn't roll or anything, we didn't assign points. The set of questions we just did were the only determinant of our character stats and our character class. Our character here is a mage, some starting equipment, and a bit of experience and everything. Basically, depending on the moral concept that you choose to be the most important in that set of questions, there is a character class associated with that concept that you end up starting the game as, and you get stats assigned that are pertinent to that character class. You also start in a place on the map that is relevant to that character class. So, we were told to seek the castle of our liege, and that's the only guidance we really have. The manual has some waffle about helping people figure out what to do with their lives, but beyond that we really have no direction, so I guess we just go into whatever this structure here is. Is this the castle of my liege, or Lord British, or whatever? No, this is the town of Moonglow, apparently. So I need to put the town disk into one of my drives here. I'll do that really quick here, and load into the town. Now, if you read through the descriptions of the towns in here, that what does it say there? The northwestern part of Britannia lies Verity Isle, famed as the home of the Lyceum, pillar of higher learning, blah blah. Southern end of Verity is situated the fabled town of Moonglow. Magi of Moonglow, something about skills, blah blah blah, buy reagents. Okay. So that tells us that the town of Moonglow is on Verity Isle. If you look at the map that came with the game here, the names of the towns are actually written in a runic alphabet, which is also in the in-game materials on this page on the reference card. If you take some time to translate things, Verity Isle is this island over here on the right side of the map. And there is indeed a little icon for a town there, where Moonglow presumably is. So, from that, we conclude that that is where we've started the game, and that's where we are relative to the rest of this world as portrayed. Now, I actually have here a little tool that I wrote to include my location on that map on the recording here. That'll update in real time based on the game's internal memory. So that'll help you, the viewer, keep track of where I am as I move around the world. So, in any case, let's wander around Moonglow for a bit and see what we're doing here and how we get back home to our stressful modern life with modern conveniences. Now, there are a bunch of actions documented on the game. The one that matters for our purposes is T for talk. You choose the direction you want to talk. And we meet some guy named Calabrini. And he wants to know what I'm interested in. And I have to type something. Hi. I like shorts. They're... Oh. One, you can only type one line of text. Where am I? Okay. What this is actually doing is it's a keyword-based dialogue system. We were not in the era where actual text interpretation was a thing software could do yet. Again, the game documentation explains a bit of this. Every NPC in the game responds to 3 keywords, which are name. They obviously tell you your name. Often they'll tell you that when you begin the conversation anyway. Health. This particular NPC is an interesting one. I'll get to that in a moment, but health will normally have them tell you what the health of that character is, and that almost never matters. I wouldn't bother if you're just playing through this game on your own, but I'll try to show it off regardless. More importantly, you ask them their job, and they will tell you something about what they do in this world. In this case, this person greets people who arrive in Moonglow, however many of those there are. And he wants to know what we're looking for. When it says you respond like that, that means they're asking a yes-no question. For example, if I say N, it says yes or no. So I'm not really looking for either one of those. I'm looking for a way home, but not looking for a shrine either. But what I showed off earlier, if you ask him about healing, that's when he says that line. That actually overwrites the line for his response to the health keyword, which is supposed to be just fine. Because the dialogue parser just cares about the first 4 characters of the words you type. So, for example, heal is adequate to give you that response. Similarly, if you ask about N, he'll say something else. But that's all this person will tell us, so let's move on. What else? Okay, more people over here. Let me go down here first. We're wandering too far. Someone over here. This sprite you will see throughout the game, that's a person who is a beggar. So, again, we'll go with the normal keywords. In this case, he actually responds to the health keyword properly, but he has no idea what we're talking about because he's crazy. And he moves the sun. Do you mean move? Sun? He moves the sun because the moons are his enemies. Okay. Given that I just saw a magic gate and got teleported away by a gypsy at a Ren fair, sure, why not? Okay, is that our main goal for the game? It's not a moon. It's an egg. No, that's something else. Because this person is a beggar, he also responds to the give keyword. That allows you to choose an amount of money to give to him. The game documentation mentions this. And you type in an amount of gold. You start with 200 gold, by the way. Give him one of it, why not? And he says in an out-of-character response that's the same for all beggars, that. We don't get anything for that, so let's move on. This is the herb shop that the manual talked about, but I'm not going to buy anything here yet. Hopefully this person has a better idea of what's going on. Wizards know how magic gates work, right? This is Shakespeare, the wizard. No relation, presumably? He creates tales of honesty. I guess, based on the gypsy sequence, I like honesty, so tell me about honesty. I'm not threatening you. What are you talking about? And yes, as I just told that gypsy, I do strive to be honest. Okay. I don't think there is really any relevance to his advice at all, so I'm moving on. Another mage named Browning, who's not very healthy either, and also really likes honesty. Yeah, that is true. As long as you're honest, you don't need to keep track of what lies you told. That's a pain. This is kind of a convoluted question. I think because of the way the dialogue parser works. The answer is yes, probably everyone has lied in some form one time or another, so presumably our protagonist has done the same, so she has not never lied. I'm not entirely sure about that, but okay. Anyway, that's that conversation. Again, we could buy herbs here, but I'm not going to do that just yet. So, how about over here? Another gypsy? Is this the same one who brought me here? It's not. I'm sure you will be. It's more optimistic than everyone else I've talked to in this town yet. If you say so. Not cards. I suppose the last time I got my destiny, I got teleported away somewhere, so see what happens this time. That escalated quickly. I don't think I want to go on any quests into abysses, unless that's like a metaphorical abyss, maybe. There's a healer here. If we were injured or had a status ailment of some kind, we could come here, but I don't need that right now. This person over here is actually alive for now. Sometimes that sprite is just used for corpses that do not respond to you. Well, that's optimistic. Really? Yes, I know what the word die means. How did you get in this situation, and why isn't the healer helping you? He's an apprentice to another wizard. Tell me more about him. Okay. The implication here is that the spell called Recall, which is not in the manual, by the way, brings someone back from the dead. There is a spell called Resurrection that does that, so maybe he's talking about the same one, I don't know. But I have not met Nigel. Lives at the Lyceum. Maybe one day I'll be there, we'll see. Up here, there's a food store. You do have a supply of food. That's the 298 you see there currently. Every so many steps you take, you consume a unit of food. Later in the game, you will get more party members than just the one, and the more party members you have, the more food they'll consume. So if you end up with a large party, you can go through food very quickly. We will talk more about that later. Speaking of food, here's a kid eating a sandwich, whose name is William, and is in pretty good health, and doesn't do much. So, why are you here? Tell me about that sandwich. Eating someone else's sandwich doesn't seem hygienic. But he doesn't have anything else to tell us, I don't think, so. I'm just a kid! More wizards up here. What's your name? This person is tired. Sure are a lot of tired wizards around here. I'm an accountant or something, probably. I have never used spells in my life. According to the cutscene at the beginning, I didn't even read the Book of Magic yet, but whatever. Okay. I'm not entirely sure if that's a modification to the recipe the manual gives you or not, if it says that you might need 2 parts spider silk or something. I don't think there are any spells that actually require more than one part of any reagent, but I don't know. I'll check on that and possibly add an annotation here or something. I think that's all she says. And a battered mage. I bet you're also in poor health. Yep. I'm noticing a theme here. Search for a blue stone? Are you from like a David Eddings novel or something? Or no, that's something else. Tell me about the stone. The Stone of Honesty. Is that the same thing as the blue stone? From the Dungeon of Deceit. Which is the opposite of honesty, I guess. I don't think going into a Dungeon of Deceit sounds like anything any more appealing than going into an abyss in search of a codex, but what does he say if I say no? Nothing. Okay, I'll play along. I'm assuming that because I'm stuck in this world, I'll eventually have to explore all the dungeons and all the towns and whatever, because that's how RPGs work. We'll play it slightly genre-savvily. Okay. Tell me about its uses. Does he say anything else? Let me check my notes here. Tricky game. Use, singular, is the keyword. It is used within dungeon altar rooms and in the abyss. I am starting to notice a theme here that everyone in this town expects that I am eventually going to be going spelunking for some reason. Just assume that every visit to your town is like some really danger-addicted spelunker. I can't even fit the question on this screen. This is where that question should actually be asked. Okay, who is this person? Cromwell. Not my favorite historical reference, but maybe it's completely unrelated. He's really optimistic about his health. Apparently, healthy people become paladins in this world. And he really likes honesty. It's a good job if you can get it. I wish someone would pay me to just go around talking about honesty all day. Yeah, generally. And I will... Why would I... I'm not even going to ask at this point. Tell me about this mantra. Not to be confused with Om, the actual classic mantra. I think that's all he says, right? Yes, that is his entire dialogue. The pattern you'll notice is that in addition to the 3 standard keywords, every NPC has 2 keywords specific to them, and then 1 yes-no question that they may ask in response to any of the keywords, either the standard ones or the unique ones. Again, that's a good job. Tell me all about your honest life, please. What evil forces? I thought they were all vanquished. Okay, so like metaphorical evil. Sure. Why not? I'm committing to all these other things, so I guess I can conquer my own evil forever. Yes, indeed it is. That his entire dialogue? Who was this? Thelius? Okay, that is his entire dialogue. I don't think there's any particular relevance to anything he tells us. There is an inn here. I believe that would basically give you a free overnight rest. You can rest in the wilderness too, but there's a chance that you'll be attacked by monsters. Another child, okay. Kristen, who is in pretty good health, I would hope so. And her job is being my friend. I love you, you love me. Sure. On top of conquering my own evil and delving into dungeons, I'll be this random child's friends, and she's happy. Yay. Already said that. Tell me about honesty. Okay, that's useful information. We talked to William earlier. He was the kid with the sandwich. There's no one in here, right? You'll notice that you actually have line-of-sight obstructions as you move around. That is one of the hallmarks of this game. And, ooh, treasure! Doink. From the previous game, you would know that as long as there are no guards around, you can usually take treasure just fine. Random townspeople don't generally care about it. So, we'll loot this person's room, because that's what we do in RPGs. You missed an article there. But bump because she's a journalist, I guess. No, that probably doesn't work. And she smokes. There are smokes in this medieval setting, I guess. I want to say that tobacco was native to the New World, but I'm not absolutely certain on that, so I'm not certain if there were any herbs that were rolled for smoking in medieval Europe before the Columbian Exchange. I don't know. That's beside the point. Tell me about your job. Yes. Tell me about writing. Tell me about your pay. Tell me about the glamour. What's the other keyword? Smoking? Okay. Certainly not. Stinky. Sounds like a good plan. And that's all she has to say. That is one of the rare instances where an NPC will actually give you a keyword as part of their response to the health keyword. Usually, they don't say anything important there. So we were told to come back here and ask William about something called a rune, which I guess is something different from a mantra, and from a completely different set of real-world mythology, whatever. Tell me about this rune I hear you know about, by Mariah's Gold. I don't know what that means, but okay. Ooh, more treasure. Hello, do you care if I steal your treasure? Is that... okay, that's Mariah. Is that her gold next to her, I guess? I don't know. Okay, she's a mage in good health. That's good. And she seeks adventure. The game manual does in fact tell you that some NPCs will indeed offer to join you with the join keyword. So, a mage in good health who seeks adventure sure seems like a good person to ask, so... nope. So, okay. I don't know why you can't join me if you want to go on a great quest. Sure. I just told everyone in the town I'm gonna go find this codex, and I guess since I'm trying to be honest, I'll have to try, so sure. I am on a quest. Perhaps it's a quest of the Avatar? Okay, will you join me now that you've expressed that wish? What's going on here is that you can only have one party member of each character class, because the protagonist is a mage, and Mariah is also a mage. You can't have two mages in the same party. The dialogue doesn't communicate that very well, but that's why she can't join you. If you were playing as another character class and you came and asked her the same thing, she would indeed join your party. So... what kind of quest do you actually want to go on, then? Quest of the Avatar. Okay, you can do that, and I'll go on this other Codex Abyss quest thing. Maybe you're actually the protagonist, since that's the subtitle of the game. Whatever. What is this Avatar thing? No, that's all she says. Anyway, I'm gonna steal your Rune of Honesty if you don't mind. Chests do have sleep traps on them sometime. Sleep doesn't really matter, especially in towns. Acid takes a little bit of HP away from you. The one that really matters is poison traps. Poison is pretty deadly. I'm sure you'll see me getting poisoned this recording eventually, so I won't go into it too much right now. Anyway, that chest doesn't actually have any Rune of Honesty in me. It just has money in it. Somebody lied to me, stupid sandwich kid. You haven't learned about honesty from the people in this town yet, have you? Actually, what's going on there is that the get command with G gets a chest. If you want to get an item that is not in a chest, you have to use a completely different command, which is S for search. By using that in this spot, you would find the Rune of Honesty. And you do not have to open that chest first or anything in order to get it. The game is full of silly, redundant commands like that. For example, you have the use command, which uses things by name. I have no items right now. Except most of the items you would actually want to use are things like torches or keys. But you don't use those with the use command. Torches you use with the ignite command with the I character. Keys, however, you don't use them with use, you don't use them with open. You use them with J for Jimmy Lock. Whatever. If you're curious, the whole reference for that system is on the reference card that came with the game. You can pause the game if you really want to look over that. Whatever. This was before they realized how important it is to have understandable command structures with navigable menus and everything. Of course, when they re-released this game on consoles, they had to update that quite a bit. Just one more person to talk to in Moonglow, I believe. This person up here, who is a jester from the sprite, named Decker. How are you doing? Pretty good. That's good. Tell me about honesty. If you say so. Usually working hard makes people's faces become pretty tired and whatever, but fair. Unless you're trying to make a point about how a tired face from a lifetime of labor is prettier than a youthful face, which I guess is fair, but whatever. Is jesting honest labor? Tell me about jesting. Nah, I'll stick with honest labor. Or that. Fair enough. You have nothing of interest to say. Anyway, that is everything we can do in Moonglow. If you look in your stats, by the way, you can use the arrow keys to toggle around what your items are. You do start with a couple of torches here, by the way, and it does note here that you have the H rune for honesty, and some other starting equipment. So, just so you're aware. Anyway, let's leave Moonglow. And we probably should try to find a way to get off this island to the rest of the world. How do we do that? We will have to find out next time. Thank you for watching, and good night to you.